What's going on, fam? Welcome to the Sam Cologne Show, aka The Messenger. And today's topic is, survey says, connecting with your higher self and taking the time to build that relationship. And when you do, all the other shit will fall in place, right? So all the previous episodes that we've been talking about is intentions. And we broke down intentions into like 3 different episodes. We talked about, structure. We talked about taking action. We talked about rest. We talked about letting go. But we talked about impact. But the truth is that all those things will be unclear to you and not authentic to you if you're not connecting to you. And that goes with everything. That goes with being a father, a mother, a brother, a sister, a son, a daughter, a grandfather, a grandmother, a businessman, a volunteer. Like, it goes with everything. Like, when you have that clear, precise vision and connection and knowingness with your higher self, your divine power, that connection to your higher divine, I'm going to say self. When you're connected to the universe, to God, to whatever it is that you believe is your higher power, which is within you and all around you, and you take the time to be intimate with that, the vision, the impact, the structure, the action you will be pulled towards it, and it will be pulled towards you. We're just talking off camera in a minute, and this a minute ago, and it becomes magnetic, right? And I know you guys seen B on other recordings, and B basically says just pulls you, and it comes out. And my daughter hiccup, and he's like that. It just comes out, all right? And so that's exactly right. So when you start to connect with that divine power within you and all around you, the guidance will come, and you'll know exactly what to do, when to do it, how to do it. Right? But the other steps come into that as well. Because if you can connect, and God can give you very specific and clear, God can give you some very specific, clear actions to take, and you don't take it, what good is it? Right? You can get the infrastructure, and you can get the guidance to write this down, put this, organize this, create the structure for this. But if you don't put that together, then what good is it? You get the guidance that, okay, you did all the work, you put the structure together, you did the action, now it's time for you to actually rest and let go and release. Let go and let God, how they say, right? And if you don't do that, then what good is it? God could birth inside of you a specific impact or purpose-driven thing that's specifically for you. And if you don't take action on that, then what good is it? All right. So all the other subsequent things that we talked about is very important. But at the end of the day, the common denominator and all that is you. Right. And if you're not connecting with you, then what good is that? All right. So today I want to dive deep into when you are connected to that part of you, things fall into place. Like, it's automatic. And these things, you're designed for this. Quick story. Today I started training again in MMA. And so I'm feeling it right now, honestly. Like last week, the same thing. Like I'm hurting everywhere. And so I'm training today, and the gentleman that I'm training with, we were doing some specific moves where we were blocking, dodging a punch, getting into position, and doing like a judo toss. And so as I'm doing the move, it's funny because I know a little something. I'm not a pro, right? But when I did the move, it felt kind of hard. And my daughter's over there trying to hold the laughter. He's sitting there like a stiff roach, like, oh shit, I wasn't expecting that. And I'm like, damn, like, yeah, but the point is that when I did it, automatically the body was set up to do another move. Now again, I'm not a pro at this. He's the professional. He's the one training me, personally training me one-on-one, because he's a professional. However, my body did automatically, after he said do this, everything else happened automatically. Then there was another move that he was showing me as far as like sliding my leg underneath it and allow myself to drop back, and then he fell automatically. When we did that, my right leg automatically went up, like almost to wrap around him. And when you're in a certain state and that connection, things automatically, like it just boom, the next thing is there. Like you don't even have to think about it. Oftentimes we get caught up like, okay, what's the next step? Bro, if you align, or sis, if you align, like the next step is there. You just got to allow it to happen. And so after the training, we start talking a little bit about it. And he's like, yeah, it's funny because I was training my nephew, and he's a young kid, but he was doing moves that, I learned years later. Like as an experienced martial artist, I learned them, but he was automatically doing them. And why is that? Because he's in his flow, right? Childlike faith. He's not thinking like, oh, I got to do it like this, I got to do it like that. No, he's learning. And as he's learning, automatically he goes into the next move because he's in that state, right? So the same thing goes for you in your life. When you are connected and you divinely tapping in to your higher self, to God, to the universe, whatever it is that you believe in, and you wake up and you have that prayer, right, where you are talking to God, to the universe, right? I think Steve Harvey says this, right? When he prays, and I've heard it other places, but Steve is the one that's coming up right now. So when he prays, he's talking to God, and when he meditates, he listens, right? And so like that's what you need to do every morning, right? Pray and meditate. Speak whatever it is that you're processing, whatever guidance you're looking for. Ask questions. A lot of times people are like, oh, well, God doesn't hear me. What's going on? I don't know. I feel like God's not in the picture. Or God's gonna help me. Is he really? Like if you ain't asking for help, you're just assuming like God's gonna help me. God will provide. Are you doing your part? Right? So a lot of times people hide behind God or the universe or whatever it is. People hide and make excuses around it. But what I'm saying, if you develop an intimate relationship with that connection with your higher self, with the universe, with God, every morning, connect, pray, and meditate, the guidance will come. And then all the other things that we talked about in previous videos, the intentions, the structure, and all those pieces then matter. Right? Now, all those pieces, you can do it. Trust me. You can get from point A to point B using those other parts. However, if you're not getting your guidance from your higher source, then it's not going to be as productive as you thought. It's not going to manifest the way you thought it would, right? And if it does, it manifests in such a way that is not to the highest and best of all because it's forced. Now, there have been things that I have manifest when getting first into, let me give you another quick story. So I had, and this happened time and time again. Now, I had a property. Now, I'm just learning about manifesting. Now I went into meditative state. And I'm just, going into my mind's eye, and everything's from the head, nothing heart-centered. Again, I'm just learning, and I'm just trying to force a manifestation. Now, I do get into a very deep state, right? People might call it an alpha state. And then the vision of me, it was like, manifest something, give yourself a timeline and a specific amount. And something that it's not too far off, but can be like, oh, wait a minute, like this is something big, right? And so this is probably about 12 years ago. And so like I'm in that meditative state, and I'm, processing and visualizing. And I said, okay, I want to manifest $50,000, and I want to do it in 2 weeks. And so I get in that meditative state, boom. And I don't know what happened for me to get that $50,000, but in this meditative state, I felt it. I saw it. Like, I was there. And it was so overwhelming that I was like in tears of gratitude. Like, oh shit, like I did it. Like, I was in this state of like, oh wow, like I did it. Like, I got it. Like, I got the $50,000. And then boom, I snapped out of it. And I realized like, oh shit, I was in that meditative state, in that manifesting. But guess what happened? Within those 2 weeks, the $50,000 came in the form of a property I had just finished and we listed. And this is the first time I've ever gotten that much money over asking, right? I got an offer over asking. Guess how much? That's right, $50,000. So it was a $50,000 over asking offer, right? Now, again, it was all from the head, the manifestation process. But what happened was, like, I was ecstatic, like, holy shit, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, oh shit, it worked, and blah, blah. But what happened during that process, those buyers were the biggest pain in my balls ever. Like, I'm telling you, like, holy, like, I wanted to fight these people. That's how much a pain in the ass they were, right? Now, when manifesting from this state, that happens, right? Yeah, like, I didn't manifest for the highest best of good of all, the highest best for all. No. It was solely selfish of me. Like, I want 50 grand, blah, 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 blah. And this is, again, me testing. This is in the beginning stages of me learning how to manifest. And so, like, when you manifest from this state, and the reason why I'm giving you this example is because you can create things using all the other tactics that we talked about earlier and not tapping into God. Because guess what? God gave you creation power without stipulations. Right? This is why people say, oh, why evil people can do this and they bad and they can build wealth. And God ain't putting no stipulations. It's free will. You have the power. The best person in the world has the power. The biggest asshole in the world has the power. Like, you can create. However, when you create from a certain state that's more of like selfish and not for the best of all, right? You could create for you and it could also benefit all with that intention. Then things like this happen. And so, like, I created that, obviously, ecstatic, like, oh, snap, my first manifestation actually worked, 50 grand. And so now I'm trying to manifest all types of stuff. But what happens is, in that state, again, there was so much, like, shit coming along with it because I was unaware how I was manifesting, right? And then when I actually learned how to drop into my heart space and manifest for the greatest good of all and for the greatest good of myself, then things were a little bit different. Now, when things manifest, they manifest smoothly. I'm not going to say that I don't have hiccups, but not like they were before, right? And so the reason why I'm sharing this is because when we're in that state of like wanting to manifest and do all this and blah, 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 always connect to God first. Always connect to the universe, to your higher source, whatever it is that you call it and you resonate with. Connect with that first. Build that intimate connection, right? Allow yourself to see what is it, what is your heart telling you that you're here, you're called to create. What are you here to do? Yeah, if you're a father, you got to be a good father. If you're a husband, yeah, you got to be a good husband. If you're a wife, yeah, you got to be a good wife. If you're a mother, yeah, you want to be a good mother, right? It's like all these things are like different hats, a businessman, a baker, a lawyer, no, that yes, you want to be good in all these things. And some people want to be the best. They don't want to just be good. They want to be the best. And that's okay. But when you connect to that higher source and you get that guidance is going to be something else for you. Like you're going to do things differently from other people, right? It's like me right now, like coming in and talking. You know how many people, it's like, oh, when you do a podcast or you do a show, you should write everything down. You should have a schedule. I don't do that. And maybe some of you guys, this ain't going to resonate with you. Some of you guys going to be like, damn, this guy be all over the place. He be bringing all these different, but it's okay. Because that means what I'm sharing ain't for you. Right? And I am okay with that because that's the guidance that I got. Like, you sit down and you open up your mouth and we will do the work, right? We will flow through you, and the people that are supposed to listen will listen. And so you develop this amount of not just trust, right? But confidence, right? This confidence says only God could place into a person, right? And that's what's inside of me, right? Because I take the time to connect with God and ask for guidance. Like before we recorded, I had a busy, crazy day. But what I did, I sat down, I closed my eyes, and while the team's setting up, they're doing the thing, I just tuned in. All right, give me the words to speak. Give me the words to speak, right? And guess what? Camera on, action, words come out. No stress. Not like, oh my gosh, what are we going to talk about? Oh, what topic? What's the biggest hit? What's the biggest threat? What should we do? What's actually popular? What's the big? No, none of that shit. Right? Because I know the words that are coming out of this mouth are going to penetrate deep into your soul. Because that's what we're doing. We're healing souls. I'm not trying to hit no fucking trends or anything like that. Like, my goal is to penetrate you in such a way that your life shifts now. Now. Not later, not in the future, now. There's something inside of you starts fucking stirring up in such a way like, what the fuck is this? That's your spirit. That's your soul. And the reason why it's happening, because it's coming from my spirit, from my soul. And we are one. And when you feel that connection, that shit's going to shift and going to turn your world upside down and all around. But the message is for you to connect with that yourself every freaking day. You wake up, you meditate, and you pray. And all the other things that we start talking about in these shows and for the future, is going to start to open up different compartments in your energy field, in your mind, in your heart, in your spirit, and your unseen team are going to start to show themselves to you in a more powerful way, because you're now intimately connected with the source of creation. All right? Now, I want to wrap this episode up because I feel like everything that had to be said has been said. All right, my people. So much love. I'm sending you guys so much love, many blessings. And until next time, God bless it.
Awesome.